Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittany. Today I'm going to show you the easiest mold to use to make simple hot cocoa bombs, and that is this 3-piece plastic chocolate half sphere mold. With this mold, you don't have to paint on layers of chocolate multiple times like you do with the silicone mold, which saves lots of time and energy. So let's get started. Here are the supplies that you'll need. Of course, you'll need the plastic mold or two. One downfall of this mold that I don't like is that there's only 3 half spheres, which isn't even enough to make 2 full hot cocoa bombs, which is really annoying, but they're easy to use and they're fairly cheap. So you might want to buy like a handful of these. If you let your molds air dry and you get water spots, you might want some cotton balls and some vodka to help shine them up and clean them. You will also need some candy melts, compound chocolate, or tempered chocolate. Check out this video to learn the difference between those. Today I'll be using some candy melts and some compound chocolate, and my favorite kind is Van Leer dark chocolate snaps. You will need something to melt your chocolate in. These silicone cups are my favorite. You want to avoid using glass because it can easily burn your chocolate. You'll also want a small round cookie cutter. This will help you assemble the bombs, makes it really easy. You'll want at least 1 half sheet tray. This will also be used in assembling the bombs. And it's always good to have a couple sheets of parchment paper, along with some parchment paper piping bags, which I'll use to decorate the bombs with just a really simple drizzle. Of course, you'll need some hot chocolate mix and some marshmallows if you'd like. And then last, you'll need whatever decorations you plan to use. I'm just going to use some festive sprinkles today. So the first step is to clean your mold if it isn't clean. If it has water spots like mine does, I don't know if you can see, they're pretty subtle, but the water spots come from letting these air dry, which is fine to do. And in your 3-piece mold, there's the top piece like this, and you don't need to worry about water spots. It won't affect the chocolate. And then these plastic pieces also don't matter as long as they're sanitarily clean. That's fine. They can have water spots. It won't affect the outer shell. So this bottom part is the only part that really matters as far as water spots and being shiny, because it is the outside of the sphere. So I'm just going to take cotton ball and vodka. You don't need a ton. And I'm just going to clean the inside like this. And the vodka will help shine the mold and take away the spots, and then it evaporates fast. So that's why it works well. And if you get too much like I did, you can take a dry one and just finish buffing it up, kind of help dry it a little quicker. And that's all you do. Just like that. So I've got my silicone cups with dark compound chocolate and white candy melts. These are the 2 I'll be using for my shells. I'm just going to heat them up for 20 to 30 seconds at a time in the microwave, stirring in between, and then I will stop heating them when there's just a little bit of unmelted chocolate left and stir them till they're smooth. So really quickly, before I show you how to use this, I'll tell you about the pieces. So this is the bottom piece, the part that touches the outer shell. There are these inside little plastic pieces that you use to squish down the chocolate. And then this top piece evens all the chocolate out and creates a nice, even, perfect thickness shell. So I'm going to make, because I only have 2 of these plastic molds, it will only make 3 bombs total. You need 2 shells per bomb, and so I'm going to make 1 dark chocolate and 2 white ones. I forgot to mention there's this line right here. Hopefully you can see it. It's a fill line. So all you're going to do is pour in the chocolate or candy melts to the fill line, and that's it. And Once you've got the chocolate in to the fill line, you don't want to underfill. If anything, overfill, but just try not to overfill too much. Once the chocolate's in, just tap it gently. Get out any air bubbles. Then you take the plastic pieces and just squish them in like this. Once those are in, you'll place the top piece on, make sure it, well, never mind. It's not possible to not line it up. I was gonna say line it up with the, you know, the same side, but never mind. Okay, so then you can flip it over. That makes it a little easier. And you're just going to press. I like to do it around the half spheres like this. There's this little groove, and you'll see I overfilled the white chocolate and it's squishing out the side. But I like to press pretty hard to make sure you don't have any gaps and that the chocolate truly goes down to the bottom edge, so you're not missing pieces of your sphere or your half sphere. And that's it. Once you can see the whole mold is full, they're ready to go in the fridge. I'm going to place them on a sheet tray for easy transportation, and I'll quickly do my second mold. Once you tap, you can really see if you've underfilled or overfilled. If you've overfilled a ton, you can always take some out. If you've underfilled, you'll just add a little more before you press on the other pieces. Now I'm just going to put these in the fridge for probably about 20 minutes. They'll finish setting up and then they'll begin pulling away from the mold. Once they're done, I'll also be ready to assemble them. So what I'm going to do to prepare is place a clean sheet tray into the oven at about 190 degrees Fahrenheit so that it can start warming up. Okay, so after 20 minutes, they should be ready. I like to flip them over. And if they stick like this, you can grab the plastic. But I find taking the top piece off is easiest because then you can just grab the plastic piece and then you just gently pull it out from the inside of the sphere. Set your sphere to the side. Put these over to wash. Yeah, the plastic can help pull the half sphere out of the mold for you. If it's having a hard time, you can give a little push on the inside, but you want to be careful not to crack the half sphere. And I like to wear gloves to protect the shells from fingerprints. See how I overfilled this one, but it's not a problem because it just breaks off or it will melt off when we assemble them. So don't worry if that happens. Just be really careful when you take them out because they can break kind of easy. Okay, so that's the first mold. And the second mold. So if you're grabbing the plastic and pulling up and the plastic's not pulling the chocolate out of this half sphere, but instead is peeling up off, you can torque the mold a little bit to help loosen it and then grab the sphere like that. That'll help you from breaking it because yeah, they can break kind of easy, I've found. The plastic usually helps like that, but if it doesn't, you can do the other method. Okay, now time to assemble them. Okay, so this is how I like to assemble mine. I think it's pretty efficient and I just find it really easy. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab my 2 shells that will go together. Set one, well, you don't have to set it there yet, but I'm just going to show you. So I've got my 2 shells and my pan has been warming up at 190 degrees. So it's warm enough to melt the chocolate, but not too warm. So, and then if you're doing a lot, it's great because you can have 1 sheet tray out, 1 sheet tray in, getting rewarmed, and then you can switch them and you can just build so many. So I'm going to take the first half shell and just drop it on the hot pan. Depending on how warm it is, it'll go pretty quick. Then you'll want to work quickly. Give a nice generous spoonful of the hot cocoa mix. Sprinkle in your marshmallows and drop the second half sphere. Let it get melty. Melty enough to be enough glue without melting too much into the half sphere shape, or you can end up with like a flat looking hot cocoa bomb. I'm going to gently, I like to use 2 fingers to line the molds or the half spheres up together. Gently press the top to seal it and then carefully wipe away the excess, trying to not get fingerprints. And that's it. It's done, ready to be decorated. So I just set it aside on my parchment paper. And I'm going to just wipe my gloves because now I'm going to do the white bombs. And I will also rotate this so I don't get dark chocolate on the white bombs. So I'll grab 2 shells, melt the first one. Add the filling. Second. So I line them up, gently press, and then wipe it clean. And that's it. Once they're assembled, it's time for the fun part, which is decorating. And I'm just going to show you the basic hot cocoa bomb decoration today, which is the drizzle. And I use parchment paper piping bags, and I just pour in whatever chocolate I'm using. I'll do white on this one. And this is where you can get creative with what colors you choose to do and what sprinkles or whatever else you want to put on there. My only tip for this is to cut the smallest hole in your piping bag as possible while still having a nice flow. And my other tip is to prop your hot cocoa bomb back up on the cookie cutter. It just makes things easy. And you want your drizzle to be really thin. They look a lot nicer that way. And you just go back and forth like this. And then add on whatever sprinkles you want before the chocolate sets up. You can do crushed candy canes or sprinkles or, you know, whatever else you come up with. Do a little bit of red, a couple bigger green ones. Yeah, and I'm just going to do all my hot cocoa bombs just like this, just with different colors. All right, guys, that is how you use the 3-piece chocolate mold. It really is the quickest and the easiest way to create the hot cocoa bomb shells once you get the hang of it. I hope that you found this video helpful and that you learned something new. If you did, please let me know by giving me a like down below. It helps me out a lot. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, today's the day. If you'd like to see more hot cocoa bomb videos, just click on one of these thumbnails. Thanks so much for watching today, and I'll see you soon. Bye.